What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin today, XCN, USD. Hit that like button, subscribe, and thank you all for being here. It is the 22nd day of February, and here we are, sitting just below half a cent, as expected, with about 7 hours and 46 minutes left in the day. I'm still hopeful. I'm very hopeful here that we have this rounded bottom uphold, and that we will continue to move higher. I mean, it looks, the structure, guys, it really does look perfect. And again, I want to just do this real quick just to show, right? We take this curve here, maybe from that point, and I try to curve it like over here. What would it be like this, something like that? There we go. No, I want to go from a further point back. I mean, that still looks clean, but there's a point. I want to say maybe it's this point. Connect those dots. Yeah, something like that. I mean, it really looks perfect, man. Like it's a perfectly formed curve right here. And maybe we can go a little bit lower. Maybe the curve isn't this. Maybe it's again something like this. We could go lower. We could go lower than this, though, and the curve still prevails. I'm very much convinced that we don't go below these lows. I'm very convinced that we don't go below this low as well. I'm not so sure about this low, though. It is possible that we do go a little bit lower. And then again, as I was saying yesterday, taking out this low ups the chances that we go below this low. Doesn't mean just because we go below this low doesn't mean that we do go below that low, but the chances are decent. There's definitely at least that to discuss. Let's look at the short-term stuff, see what's going on. Are we on the right train of thought, expecting slightly lower prices from here? Should we be expecting a pump, a bounce anytime soon? Is this rounded bottom reliable? What will the results, what will the aftermath be of that? Should we move and follow the rounded bottom or break through it? Let's go over all of that through this video here. Okay, so the 1 hour time frame right here, looking at this, we are moving down. We do have gaps to the upside right here. There's a gap right there too, right? It doesn't really look like a gap, but here, that's where the hourly candle closed. Here, that's where it opened. So there is actually a little gap right there too. That's I forget what kind of gap that is, right? Like this is a gap. You can see it, right? You can actually, there's like actually a gap to see. This is a gap too. It's just because the candles are together in that way, it doesn't look like a gap, but it is. There's other gaps as we go up higher. I'm very confident OnyxCoin will fill those gaps to the upside, but here, first and foremost, I think what we're going to do is fill this gap to the downside. Come on down, fill it up. Give us, please, this higher low. You guys, man, if we can find a higher low here, and then return, we got a lot of work to do. Okay, on the short-term time frame, it's really not that much. OnyxCoin can make this move in like an hour. I mean, we've seen it happen before. If we can get back above this high while providing a higher low here, we are so golden. It's not even funny, man. It's going to be very, very fun to watch. But it's a little bit of work from here. It's an idea at the moment, but again, the idea is holding a higher low and then getting above this high. That's really the idea. That would be a very, very bullish look in itself. We're not there yet, but let's look at the 1 hour time frame. We'll zoom back out, okay? 1 hour RSI looks pretty bearish to me. I believe we're going to go down. Little gap down here, right? Little gap to fill. We're probably going to fill that gap. And understand, what we don't have to do is go right down to the base of this gap, fill it, and then pump. We don't have to come down, fill it, and then pump. That's not what has to happen. We can go down, fill the gap, get a higher low or a lower low, lower high, continue to move down, and then slowly but surely move up. It doesn't have to be this immediate thing. We could even see prices that are below this gap, okay? So don't get freaked out if that happens. We go too much lower, and of course the possibility of going below this low is definitely on the table. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, I don't know if the RSI is calling for that necessarily. As we're moving down, we're getting less and less volume. My thoughts are, again, the same thoughts that we've had really for months now, is that who is selling here, right? Anybody who's wanted to sell, they had a plethora of opportunity to sell here. They've had plenty of opportunity to sell here as well at higher prices. You had the very massive pump, right? Who's selling here? The panic sellers? No, if you panic buy here, you probably panic sold here. You're probably already out, right? That's why we're seeing this slow kind of shift here even, right? It's not so tenacious. We're kind of breaking out of this trend. I don't think there's that much selling pressure. So again, on that note, will we move down? Sure, I think we will, but who's selling? Probably not many people. I don't think we're going to move down much. We have low volume. It doesn't take much to move the price, don't get me wrong. It could be a larger move than I'm expecting, but my expectation, again, is that we just fill this gap and we'll probably move up. Maybe an immediate bounce, maybe it's slower, however it works, but that's the call at the moment. The 1 hour RSI certainly expects or details that call. So do the stochastics. The MACD is bearish. You have a little bit of bullish divergence. Hey, that's not bad. That's not bad. That's kind of nice. But it's the 1 hour. I'm not worried about it, right? This divergence, I mean, it looks like there's bullish divergence now. We'll see. If it doesn't result in the way that I want it to, it doesn't really matter. It's the 1 hour time frame. I'm not too concerned. Again, all of these indicators are saying that the price will move down. They're not saying that it will move lower than this low. They're just saying that we're going to move down. We could move below this low, but at the moment right now, I'm expecting that we hold 00486. Is that what it is? 0048, 00483, 00487 as support somewhere in there. I am expecting that what we'll see is a move down to the 786, 886, and then some recovery. Okay, it would have been nice if we just blasted through the golden ratio, because typically when you do that, you do get some intense volatility. We didn't do that. We found support at the golden ratio and then found resistance in this range, which was the more bearish outcome, right? That was one of the more bearish outcomes. This is the outcome that I didn't want to see. I remember specifically saying that yesterday. But here we are. Now, statistically speaking, through this golden ratio zone, we have a higher probability of coming down to the 786, 886. The reason why I didn't want to see this type of maneuver is because when you see this type of whenever you break through the golden ratio on the first attempt and you find support here, it's different than whenever you do this and then you come down and find support here. It's different. When you break through on the first attempt, you get a lot of volatility, and that volatility typically takes you back to the 236 and beyond, typically. When you do this stair-stepping stuff, you find support here. Maybe we do the same thing. Maybe this is still a chance. There's still a possibility for this to happen, but there's also a chance that we find resistance at the golden ratio, and now we have a very strong likelihood of going below this low. So what I'm asking for here is that we find support not just at 00487 and 00483, which I'm very confident we'll find support right there in the heart of that range. Not just that, but that we get back above the golden ratio. And then on top of that, not just that either, not just that we go down to this area and then get back above 00494, but that we consistently close above there, and ideally we get above this high as well. If we can get above the 382 and ultimately the 236, things are good. But really what we need to do is find support here, get above the golden ratio. That's really my main concern at this point. If not, if we struggle, if we come up and then we reject, you best believe right here we are going to be bearish below this low, below that low, and probably even down towards something around here, maybe even below this low. The 1272, 1618 range, actually the 1618 lines up very well with this low over here. The 1272 is a little bit above, so there's a solid chance we could go down here. I'm not saying that we do. We're not there yet. There's still a chance that we bounce off the 786 and get back above the golden ratio, but that's what we need to see, okay? So once we plummet below the current levels that we're at now, we find support at 00487, 00483, we need to start closing 4-hour time frames above 00494, okay? Not just getting above, but closing above. 4-hour time frame here, looking at this, the RSI, I mean, if I'm being honest, it looks like we have a really good setup here, a potential good setup here. You're going to have some bullish divergence on your MACD, bullish divergence on your RSI if we get a 4-hour close below this level here. We could come down and close right there at that level, close just below right there, right? I think the low end of that range that I gave you was 00483. So we literally could close right here and get some bullish divergence on our RSI. You don't need bullish divergence, okay? We don't need it. The fact that you have a higher low and you're right here at the oversold zone, this could be a bouncing point. We don't need to see any lower prices than this. I still think that we fill that gap, but we don't need to go any lower. This is a bullish setup on the RSI. We just can't give it up too much, right? We want to hold support here pretty soon, and we want to start seeing some life maybe over the next 24 to 48 hours, okay? Stochastics are a little bit bearish. The MACD is a little bit bearish. Going a little bit lower makes sense. I wouldn't really expect that we've got a lot lower to go. Anything can happen. Anything can happen, but again, where the stochastics are, here, if I said we had a lot lower to go, the stochastics are at the 50. The RSI was at the 50. The MACD was green. Here the MACD is red. The stochastics are oversold. The RSI is practically oversold. We're at those low points. It doesn't mean that we're done going lower. I think we go a little bit lower, but I don't think that we have anything intense coming our way. If we do have something intense coming our way, likely we're going to consolidate further, let these indicators kind of reset themselves, and then we'll drop, okay? And we'll hopefully see that coming if that happens, but I digress. 4-hour time frame really isn't giving me too much. Daily time frame here. I don't mind the MACD. It's a bit disappointing again, but I don't mind it. The stochastics are reset, which is nice to see. And the RSI is bearish overall, but somewhat neutral. Not really a whole lot to go off of on the daily time frame other than just this rounded bottom kind of construct here. From a low point to a high point here. Finding support at the 886. Nice to see. We got up to the golden ratio zone twice now. The goal is to preserve our higher low dynamic and take out these highs. We want to get back above the golden ratio. You guys remember on the very short time frame how vital it was that once we found support at the 786, 886 that we did not find resistance to the golden ratio and come back down, but that we break through it. It's the same thing here. And this, we're not technically finding resistance here at the golden ratio. It's in the zone, but it's not at the golden ratio itself. I think that we still have yet to prove ourselves. I still think that we have a date with destiny up here. If we fail, then we can take on a more bearish stance. But when we get above the golden ratio, that's whenever it's time to get really excited. We get above 00638. This low area is vindicated. This rounded bottom idea is vindicated. And the idea of taking out this high and going to prices at around 2 cents becomes a lot more probable. Again, the line that makes all that possible, the line to break, is 00638. We get 1 day to close above that level. And mark my words, we're going to be at 2 cents really, really fast after that. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. That's my expectations. If we go below these lows, if this rounded bottom isn't how I expected it to be, if it's not like this, it's maybe more drawn out, something like this, there is a chance that we could see prices back down at these lows or even slightly lower. I don't expect that we're going to plummet through these lows. I don't expect anything crazy like that to happen. But, you know, again, this rounded bottom, maybe it's a longer drawn out play than what I'm giving it credit for. And with that, we could even see slightly lower lows here. That's not the call. Just making you aware of what, you know, if what I am calling for right now, which is that we hold support more or less in this area and that we do start moving up, if that call is wrong, we will go lower. We will go below these lows, but I'm not completely convinced that we go below these lows or too much below these lows at the worst scenario. So again, we're at a very low point here. It's very abundantly obvious that over the last year, the best time to buy OnyxCoin is right in this zone that we're at now. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but I do believe we're getting set up for some type of W pattern, W shape here, and that should take us above this level here, and very likely all the way up to prices that are above 2 cents. Sometime in the next month or two. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all. Take care. Bye-bye.